Hey everybody, it's your buddy's pal Anthony, and today we're going to be doing a couple of minor upgrades to the Proton Pack, as well as finally opening up the Cyclotron and seeing the other modes that this thing offers. The modifications I'm going to do include replacing the VHook with one from Great Scott Prop Shop on Etsy.
Perfect.
Their VHook is 3D printed, and a couple of the reviews said it's easier to get the wand on and off with this than the stock Hasbro ones, so we'll see about that, because I was having some troubles with it. As you remember from other videos, I couldn't even put the damn thing on when I was standing next to it, never mind with it on my back. The other upgrade I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this wire wrap with one I got from Quantum Project. As you can see, and as some people have pointed out in different reviews that I've watched before I got the pack, it is just a little plain, and while it's not a big deal, I just think that this one will help the pack look just, a little bit more unique, just a little bit different. So why not? And like I said, I don't really want to do anything too crazy to this thing, so little cosmetic upgrades are my thing until next con. To access a Cyclotron, you fully unscrew the silver bumper in the center there, and there are two Phillips head screwdrivers on either side of the bracket arm. Lift everything out, and then there's a couple of switches to flip, and we'll see what sort of other sounds this thing can make. We're going to get right to this after the intro. Steve, hit it please. I removed the Neutrona wand just so it was out of the way. Also, I'm going to need it off when I replace the VHook. I was talking with Steve, and he told me that when he opened up the Proton Pack, because he put a JBL speaker on his, he was saying you definitely can't just unscrew the two screws on the VHook. You have to go inside to make sure something on the inside doesn't fall down and get lost, so it has to happen anyway. These wires, they're not really wires, they're just decorative. These actually just pop right in there. You can pop them out. They're just basically a rubber stopper, but it doesn't say you have to do that on the instructions, so let's see. Yep, slides right out, no problem. This hey, I was able to pop this off a lot easier by accident one time, and I thought I'd broken it. And this right here, you squeeze these together and lift this off. I have seen things on Etsy that you can buy to dress this up a little bit and make it more interesting while the cover is off and the batteries are turned on. Well, if I'm reading these instructions correctly, this switch should alternate between the Afterlife mode and Classic mode, and this one should be to turn the motor on and off. Let's just... Awesome. Seems like the pack has a safety feature where if you have the Cyclotron cover off, it's not going to let you do anything once you turn the power on switch until the Cyclotron is covered back up. So, covered that back up, threw back on the wand, and... So as you can see, there's no motor humming, as there usually is. And we're just going to flip the motor switch back on real quick. And now we have the motor switch back on, still in 84 or classic sound mode. Turning it on. This might get me in trouble with Dan and Dave, but I think I like the Afterlife sound being on more, or maybe I'm just used to it. But in any case, that's the two different sound effects. That's the inside of the Cyclotron. Now we're going to power everything off, and we're going to do the wire wrap. Take our trusty Phillips head screwdriver. I have seen people replacing this clamp too. I guess I'll finally get a close-up look at it and see what all the fuss is about. Yeah, I mean, it is just a plastic thing. It's not a real wire clamp. Hope that's not a sign of fatigue already. I'm heading to Home Depot later this week, so maybe I'll just pick some stuff up. This down here looks like it's a nut, but it's really just this little rubber stopper type thing. Work it out. And now we can... There you go. Got our new wrap cover. This way it's not naked anymore. Oh no. Well, that's a problem. It feels like it just goes into the pack. So I guess they want you to slide this in from the other side. Oh. Nope. Squeeze it. And there you go. That was almost a longer video. Well, as you can see, I was able to finally squeeze it on. Maybe I should have taken it from the other side, but I don't even know what it looks like on the inside of the pack, and I thought I could just slide it over, which I technically can, but as you can see, it seems to have stretched out a little bit more in other places than others as I pass the fake nut through the sleeve. Also, unfortunately, this is a bit short. This stops pretty much at the end of this part where the warning label is, and there's still at least up to my knuckle of depth left in the pack. So not full size, but it will do the job, I suppose. I can always pop it off if I really wanted to, if I find something better, and I guess having this much exposed isn't the end of the world. But still, that was a little bit irritating. Let's put this fake clamp back on. And there we are, our first cosmetic upgrade to the Proton Pack. I went back to the original sounds from the factory. I'm just used to them. The other one sounded too quiet, and I do like the idea of this thing making the extra noises that it does. So for now, I'm going to stick with the default settings. Coming up next, I'm going to be taking everything off, the Alice frame, the motherboard, and I'm going to be accessing the side. This way I can change out that VHook and see if I can't take the Neutrona wand on and off without anybody's assistance. Now it's time to turn this thing around, take off the motherboard, and hopefully replace the VHook without too much cursing, a desire to break this thing, or blood. That would be good. And cross your fingers, here we go. Apologies for the angle, but there's a lot of screws I'm about to take out, and I really don't want to drop any of them. Took out every screw I could think of on the back. I also undid the side of the Cyclotron cover. I'm going to go in here and just see if there's anything holding it on, because it's not just lifting off and I don't want to snap anything. Tell you one thing, if this 3D printed thing doesn't make the holstering and unholstering easier, I don't see myself putting the original back on. A lot of screws and a lot of chances for me to just get mad and break something. That did it. And there we are. Alright, so we finally got it off. I did take off probably too many screws that didn't need to come off, but whatever. Be careful when you do get the motherboard off. There are these wires right here. Don't just yank it off. As you can see, unfortunately, this did have to come off because instead of, I don't even know what the right word is, but I know there's something it could have been screwed into. It's a nut and a washer holding in the VHook. So the whole thing has to come out to replace this. And there we have it. New VHook is on. Somehow we didn't lose any of the original parts. It turns out that this should actually be facing the pack. I reached out to Wes at Great Scott Prop, and he was very gracious to give me the information and help me out right away. So, as Steve said, this is the world of modding. I am going to take all this off and flip this around and try this again. Oh. Well, I feel stupid, but at least it's done. Oh, that fits so nice. Okay. That's a load off. Like Steve said, this is what happens when you start modifying. Go check out Great Scott Props on Etsy if you need some modified pieces for your HasLab or your 80% Spirit packs. Thankfully, somehow, miraculously, I didn't lose any screws. I didn't snap anything when taking the motherboard off. Stay tuned for more comic reviews, more on the road to New York Comic Con. We are probably about a month away by the time this gets published. And yeah, see you all in the next video. Stay tuned for a word from our sponsor, and then Steve is going to take us out of here, please.
If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to keep in touch with us any further, check us out on Instagram, Reddit, Discord, and any other social media platform. All of our links are going to be down on the bottom. Most importantly, this wouldn't be able to happen without you guys. Every video we do is sponsored by you. Check out the Nerd Foundation and become a member. Or go to nerdaffiliated.com and pick up some of our great merch. Carpe Noctem, everybody. See you around.